Hi, I'm Lee Jacobs. Welcome to Startup Warfare. You know, I was thinking the other day about a story that happened to me a long time ago. Back in the late 80s, I was in graduate school, and a friend of mine and I were at a bar downtown Georgetown. It was late one Saturday night, and being a big football fan, I was excited when Marcus Allen walked into the bar because he was one of my favorite running backs. And for those of you who don't know, Marcus Allen was an amazing running back for the Raiders. And I said to a friend of mine, I got to go over and say something. He said, look, don't make an ass of yourself. But you know what? I was 22 years old. I was destined to make an ass of myself. So I walked over to him, tried to be cool, and I said, Marcus, look, been a big fan for a long time. Love what you do, love how you do it. Could I get an autograph? So Marcus Allen turns around to me and says, what's your name? And I said, my name is Lee. And he goes, Lee, you don't need an autograph, because next time I see you, I'm going to give you a big handshake, a hug, and ask how you're doing. Because you and I are like best friends now. So I read between the lines. He didn't want to be bothered. I walked away, and I was just thrilled like I got a chance to meet the guy. Well, back, I want to say a few years ago, so this is 20-something years later, I'm sitting on a plane, and I'm typing on my laptop, and all of a sudden, somebody sits next to me. And who is it? It's Marcus Allen. I mean, what are the odds of that? First of all, the fact that I would meet him the first time. And again, I'm not saying it's the greatest achievement of my life. It certainly wasn't. But then for the same guy to sit next to me 20-something years later on a plane. So the flight takes off, and I wasn't going to make an ass of myself again. He's obviously retired. It's been for a while. But I said, I got to say something. I got to, because of what he said to me 20 years ago. So I tap him on the shoulder. I said, Mr. Allen, look, I know you don't remember me. Or maybe you do. You kind of promised you would. And he looked at me kind of funny. And I said, you don't remember that night at the bar? And he looked at me even a little odder. And I said, you said to me, I'll remember your name. I'll give you a big handshake and a hug. So he kind of laughed, and we chatted for a bit. And my point to tell you this story is, you know, what are the odds that the guy would have sat next to me after all those years, right? He said next time he sees me, he's going to remember my name, made this whole song and dance up, and then the guy ends up sitting next to me 20-something years later. You know what? I always remember that story, and I'll tell you why. Because in business, there's a lot of times when things seem dead set against you. The odds aren't good. And I remember to myself, geez, what's the odds of this guy promising he'd remember my name, even though he didn't, but just saying, hey, next time I see you, I'm going to give you this big hello, and then he actually sits down next to me 20-something years later. The odds are astronomical that that would ever happen. So what I'm saying to you is, when things are against you, just remember long shots do come in, and you got to keep the faith that even though there's chances something won't work out, there's always a chance it will, no matter how astronomical the odds seem against you. Okay? So just thought I wanted to share that with you. I thought it was an interesting story. And if you have any questions, let me know. And I will speak to you soon. And thanks again for stopping by Startup Warfare. Take care.